Find the amount of water flowing out of a circular pipe with radius 6 centimeters if the speed of water is 15 meter per second for 30 seconds. So here we are dealing with a circular pipe, and the water is flowing out of it at a speed of 15 meter per second. So speed 15 meter per second. The dimensions of the pipe is, the radius is 6 centimeter, and we must know how much water flows out for time 30 seconds. So here's a circular tap. The radius of this tap is 6 centimeter. We convert it into meter, that is 6 over 100 meter. Now the water flows out of this tap, and when the water is flowing out of this tap, it's flowing with a speed of 15 meter per second, which means for 1 second it moves a distance of 15 meter. So if I were to draw the water for 1 second, this is the distance it travels in 1 second, and that is 15 meter. For 1 second. So amount of water, volume of water for 1 second will be a cylinder. This is a cylinder. So we use a formula pi r square h. So pi r square h. This is the water for 1 second. Pi 22 by 7. We see the r is 6 over 100. And the h here is 15. For 1 second it moves 15. This is the amount of water for 1 second. But in this case the water is now moving for 30. We want to know the amount of water for 30 seconds. So volume of water for 30 seconds would be pi r square h into 30, because this is for 30 seconds. So the calculation here would be 22 by 7. Your r is 6 over 100, the whole square. This also has to be square. We know the h we said was 15, and the time is 30. So you have to do this calculation. This will give you the amount of water for 30 seconds. To go over it again, so first we calculate volume of water in 1 second. And for 1 second it is pi r square h, where we know the h is 15, because for every 1 second the speed is given as 15 meter per second. So for 1 second it travels 15 meter. The next is we need to know volume of water in 30 seconds. And for 30 seconds it would be pi r square 15 for 30 seconds into 30. So that would be 22 by 7. Your r is 6 over 100, the whole square, into 15 into 30. This would be for 30 seconds. So 22 over 7, 36 over 100, and another 100. 15 into 30 meter cube. Now you go ahead, you cancel, you reduce it, and this would be the answer. Volume of water in 30 seconds. Water is flowing out of a pipe, circular pipe, at a speed of 10 meter per second. If the diameter of the pipe is 10 centimeters, find the amount of water flowing in 5 minutes. So again here, although the word circular is not given, I'll just take it as a circular pipe. Circular pipe, the speed of water equal to 10 meter per second. That means for every 1 second the water travels 10 meters. The diameter is given as 10 centimeter, which means radius is half of it, 5 centimeter. I must know the amount of water for 5 minutes. Now 5 minutes I have to work in seconds, so 5 into 60, so the time t will be 300 seconds. Here the radius 2 I have to work in meters, so over 100 meters. So this is the pipe, a circular pipe whose radius is 5 over 100 meter, and the water is coming out of it at a speed of 10 meter per second, which means for 1 second the water would have traveled a distance of 10 meter. This is for 1 second. So volume of water for 1 second, volume of water for 1 second, you agree is a cylinder. Here this is the cylinder. This is the volume of water for 1 second, which is pi r square h, and the h is 10 meters. So is pi r square h, where the h is 10 meter. But we want to know the volume of water for 5 minutes. Volume of water for 5 minutes. And this 5 minutes I'm going to change to seconds, so then it becomes 300 seconds, which will be equal to pi r square 10, that is h, into 300. That will be for 300 seconds. So we have pi 22 by 7. The r in this case is 5 over 100 r square. The h for every second is 10 into 300. You do this calculation and your answer will be in centimeter, meter cube. The volume of water we saw was 22 over 7. So here's the volume of water for 300 seconds. So 22 into 5, 100 into 100 into 10 into 300. So you just reduce this, and whatever answer you get will be in meter cube. Here I've made a mistake. There should be, I just do this again, it was not proper. So this is 22 over 7, that is 5 over 100. Again 5 over 100. I missed this 5 the last time. So 10 into 300. And now you reduce it. 2 zeros here out, 2 zeros, 1, 1. Then your 1s are, then this is 2s are, this is 11. What you're left with is 11 into 5 into 3 over 7, which is 165 over 7 meter cube. Water flows out of a canal. Now in this case we have a canal at a speed of 72 km per hour. If the dimensions of the canal is 4 meter by 2 meter, find the amount of water flowing in 1 hour. That would be a lot of water. So here we are dealing with a canal. So what shape are we dealing here? Canal is a cuboid. We'll have to use the formula of a cuboid. Now the speed of water through this canal is 72 kilometer per hour. That's pretty fast. But we cannot work in kilometer per hour, so we work in meter per second. So 5 over 18. And this would be 20 meter per second. Now the dimensions of the canal is 4 by 2, which means the breadth is 4 and the height or the depth is 2 meter. The time for which the water is flowing is 1 hour. Again, we do not work in hour. We multiply by 60 to give 60 minutes. Then again 60 to give seconds. So it is 3600 seconds. Now when we talk about the canal, here canal is in the shape of it's like a cuboid. Here is the shape of a canal. The river also can be considered to be like a canal in the shape of a cuboid. Now the water flows out of this canal at a rate of 20 meter per second. So the water in 1 second, it is going to move 20 meter. That is for in 1 second. So if I want to know volume of water for 1 second, for 1 second, it will be also a cuboid. Here this shape is that of a cuboid, and volume of cuboid, you know, is length into breadth into height. Now the breadth is given to us, which is 4, the height is given to us as 2, but the length we see is here 20 meters. For 1 second it moves 20 meters. So the length will be 20 meters. So the volume of water in 1 second is length into breadth into height. It is 20 into 4 into 2. That's for 1 second. But our sum is not about 1 second. Our sum is we want for 1 hour. So volume of water for 1 hour will be length into breadth into height, that is 20 into 4 into 2. But our question here is 1 hour. Here, this 1 hour. So this would be into 1 hour is 3600 seconds. So this will be the amount of water coming out in 1 hour. And this is 57623 meter cube. This is the amount of water for 1 hour. Let's go over it again. So we did volume of water for 1 second. And the volume of water for 1 second was length into breadth into height, because it was in the shape of a cuboid. This was given to us. The length, of course, is the speed of water, and the speed of water is 20 meters per second. The speed is 20 meters per second. So in 1 second, it travels 20 meters. In the next step, we do volume of water for 1 hour. And 1 hour is 3600 seconds. So the amount of water for 1 hour will be for 1 second into 3600, and that worked out to be 576,123 meter cube. The water in a river flows at 18 km per hour. If the depth and the breadth of the river is 7 meter and 10 meter respectively, find the amount of water flowing for half an hour. So here we have a river, and when we talk about the river, it is the shape of a cuboid. So for this river, the speed of water is 18 km per hour. We cannot work in kilometer per hour. We have to work in meter per second. So 18 into 5 by 18 to convert into meter per second, which is 5 meter per second. Now the dimensions of this river is given. Breadth of the river is 7 meter, and the depth of the river, or we can say height of this cuboid, is 10 meter. We need to find the amount of water flowing in half an hour. Half an hour is 30 minutes. And we know 30 minutes, we have to work in seconds. So 30 into 60, that is 1800 seconds. So in this sum, we have this river and the water is flowing out of this river. It is flowing out at a rate of 5 meters per second. This is 5 meters per second, which means for 1 second, it travels 5 meters. Which means for 1 second, it would have traveled a distance of 5 meters. So volume of water for 1 second. Length, breadth into height, because it is a cuboid. Now the breadth and height is given to us, that is 7 into 10, but the length we know is 5. And why is the length 5? Because we see that in 1 second it travels 5 meters. So this is the volume of water for 1 second. We just put 1 second here. But our question is volume of water for half an hour. So volume of water for half hour. And half hour we saw is 1800 seconds, which is now equal to 5 into 7 into 10 into 1800. And this answer is 63 meter cube. That's the amount of water flowing for half an hour, which is 1800 seconds. A circular pipe has radius of 8 centimeters. Water flows through it at a speed of 12 meters per second. Find the amount of flowing out of the pipe in 1.5 minutes. So here again we have circular pipe, which means we are dealing now with a cylinder. Now this cylinder, the radius is 8 centimeter. We need to convert into meter, so 8 over 100 meter. The speed of water is 12 meter per second, so that's fine. Meter per second is the right unit. And the time for which the water is flowing is 1.5 minutes. So we need to do this into seconds. 1.5 is 3/2 minutes, and to make it into seconds, 3/2 into 60, and that would be 90 seconds. So we need to know how much of water is flowing out in 90 seconds. So this is a circular pipe. The radius of this pipe is 8 over 100 meter, and the water flows out of it at a speed of 12 meter per second, which means in 1 second, suppose this is the amount of water that comes out in 1 second, it would have covered for 1 second, it would cover a distance of 12 meter. So here we have 12 meter. Now remember, this is the water that is for 1 second. So volume of water for 1 second will be a cylinder, pi r square h, where pi r is 8 over 100 and the h is 12. Here, however, the question is water for 90 seconds. See, we want for 90 seconds. So volume for 90 seconds will be pi into 8 over 100 into 12 into 90, because here it is for 90 seconds. So that would be into 90. So we'll calculate this for 90 seconds. Pi is 22/7, 8 over 100 into 12 into 90. So you cancel this out and you work this That would be, I'll just write it here, 19008 over 70 meter cube.